Hi everybody, welcome back to Art Time Today. I'm Cheryl Smith and I will be your art teacher today. We're going to be using our imaginations and thinking outside of the box and really letting our brains go into dreamland. Don't fall asleep, but we're going to be able to use our imaginations a lot today. That's what this one is all about, your imagination. What's going on in that brain of yours? What are you thinking about? I want to bring that out onto a piece of paper. And we're going to work on that and see what we can do. So I have a painting that's on the wall over here. It has tons and tons of lines and shapes. It's called The Circus, and the artist is Albina Felsky. And this picture is totally out of her imagination. I imagine she went to a circus at one point, and when she got back to her art studio, she remembered what she saw, and she drew everything all at once. That's the fun thing about drawing and painting. You can use your own brain, your own imagination, and create some beautiful artwork. That happens also in books. I have two books here. These are two of my very favorite books. This one, called Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, is all about his imagination. And the illustrations are incredible. He drew tons and tons of monsters and wrote a beautiful story to go along with it. It's fun. If you haven't heard of it, it's an excellent one to get your hands on. I have a feeling most of you know about this book. And the other one that I have that I love is called Who is the Beast by Keith Baker. He did the story and the pictures, so he's called an author-illustrator. Author-illustrator. And this is one of my favorite books. When we draw pictures of the jungle, I'll bring this one back out for you to look at. But these pictures are all out of his imagination and what he thought that the jungle might look like. The animals are amazing, and it's a beautiful drawings inside his book. These two books, because they're from your imagination, they're called fiction. They're made up. They're make-believe. They're stories that didn't happen. And so I want you to think about that too. So in your artwork today, you're going to be coming up with all kinds of ideas. We're going to be creating doorways that open up into your imagination to see where you are going. So I've done a few up here that I can show you, and I'm stuck on the car. There we go. I'm telling you what. So these are a couple of little ones that I did to show you. And if we want to zoom in, I'll let you see more closely. So what I did is I folded the paper up. I drew a fancy doorway on the paper. And then on the inside, it reveals what my brain was doing and what my thoughts were. This one, I drew space. I drew a little guy in a rocket ship. I drew a little green guy standing on the top of the planet. I made some other planets. I made a little satellite, some stars. Out of my imagination. I love space. I love the stars. And I thought that might be fun sometime to fly into space. This one I made doors that are mostly straight lines. And inside I put something that might be a little bit scary. Don't get scared. Remember, it's only a drawing. And so can you tell what it is yet? Can you see part of it and tell what it is? I made a funny little dragon. I'm going to open this up so it'll stick real well. So inside my doors, it kind of looked like a castle door to me. I made a funny little dragon. And I have my little dragon here that's watching over me today. I also made a great big one that we're going to be making a big one today. And if I... Hi, sorry about the glitch in the sound. We may have fixed it, but we may not have. We're still working on our technical issues. Mr. Fred is doing an incredible job, by the way. That was me rolling the stool over the speaker cord. Yeah, we're learning. It's okay. Okay, back to the art. You're going to be making one that may or may not be this big. I just made it big so you would be able to see it better. So on this one, I did an oval-shaped door. And it reminded me a little bit of a porthole in a submarine. And so I decided that I thought it would be pretty cool to have a porthole open up. And then what could you see if you looked through a porthole? Probably underwater, right? So that's what I did here. I made a doorway that opens into the underwater. Now, if it really happened underwater and you opened a door underwater, boosh, you'd be flooded over with water and fish and seaweed. Luckily, this is just my imagination. So I have drawn the waves and the fish, and this little group of fish here all swimming together. Do you know what that's called? A school of fish. It's like they're going to school. I always picture little fish behind a desk. I think it was in a Bugs Bunny cartoon one time. Anyway, so we have a starfish and a big fish coming in, and I would color the whole thing in to make it really, really cool at the end. But I want to leave some of that up to you. When you get ready to do your work, you're going to need paper. And colored paper works great for this because you can already have your door be a color. Or you can use the regular white paper. You can always use the printer paper from your printers. And always ask your grown-ups around if it's okay if you can borrow some of the printer paper if you have to do that. Markers are great for this. Crayons are great for this. And colored pencils are as well. So let me get my big piece of paper and start showing you what to do. So I've got my paper now. I think you can hear me just fine. We fixed the mics on the end there. Sorry about that. So have your paper, fold it. Remember, hold the two corners, pinch, lay it down, and then press it across. Was that down there? Okay, fantastic. All right, so now we have a piece of paper folded just like this. And I could do it like this. Is that in the picture? This? Is that in the picture? So it's best if I hold it right here by my face, I see. Fantastic. So you have it folded in half. What we have to do is fold both sides to the middle. So I'm going to do one side at a time. It's easiest down low. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it right to the center line. Line it up. You've got that crease in the middle, it'll be perfect. Press down, and then fold your other side right in as well. Right into the middle, fold it in. Press down as well. You have now built your doorways, just like that. So on the outside, we're going to draw whatever you want. I've sketched one up here that I'm going to trace over right now so you can see that. I'm not going to color it in and get super fancy because I want you to have your time to be able to do that. So I am going to grab a brown marker and I'm going to draw this. This kind of was reminding me of a story that my mom used to read to me about the little elves and brownies that lived in the roots of the big trees. So I kind of have drawn like a piece of a tree and then a little opening to go in it. So I'm going to draw like this is a little bit of a tree here. just like I'm drawing the bark. Woo! And then here's my doorway. And I'm going to double that doorway. Let me put another couple of lines in here. And I could put some leaves on there and make it really cool. And I can put 2 little doorknobs. And I could even make this look like a little wooden door by drawing some more lines. Up to you how you want to do this. Remember, this is your own brain working today. So you can use lots of colors as well. And now I'm going to open it up and see what I was thinking. And I decided to pretend that I was really little and I could get into a garden. And how would it look if I was tiny inside a garden? And I thought that the flowers would look enormous. So I drew some huge flowers. I would put some nice little lines on them. I'd color them all in really pretty. While I have pink, I'm going to make another flower here where I keep going around and around and around and around and around, all the way around, and I keep continuing to make a flower that has all kinds of petals on it. Wow, look at all those petals. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm going to keep going until I get super big. Remember, I'm pretending I'm very, very little and trying to see how these flowers look. Wow, okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to draw, let's see, a little blue toadstool with a dark blue top. And the little back, and then maybe it has some polka dots on it. And maybe some really cool plants, some more little flowers or vines. Remember, it's your brain. Wherever my brain went when I was doing this, it's kind of fun for me. Reminded me of the 70s a little bit. All right, so here we go. Bumpity, 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 bump. Lots of cool leaves on here. If you have time, and you guys are going to have a lot of time, you can make ladybugs and ants and all kinds of little things if you're doing an outdoor kind of garden. And here's some great big leaves. Woo! And maybe here's the ground. And you know what? I did draw a little ladybug down here. I think I'm going to trace this one around. Here's a little ladybug for you. And I'll just keep with my red. So this is a picture. I would love it if when you were doing these, you would fill this mostly all in with crayon. That might take you a little while, but sometimes it's always good to have a little project to do when you start driving your parents crazy and you need to go find some alone time. You can always take your artwork with you and you can go hang out in your room with your markers and your paper and just let your imagination wander and have a great time. I love doing the imagination pictures because there's no right way or wrong way to do it. Nobody can tell you it's right or wrong. It's all because it's your own, and that's what's so important about artwork. I hope you had fun today. I hope you continue to draw your pictures and have, enjoy your time with your families. And I will see you next time. Couple of days, I'll put a new one online, but you can just keep looking at them over and over again. Share them with your friends. Don't forget Art Time Today 2 on Instagram and Art Time Today on the Facebook page. And you can even post pictures of what you're making if you want to. So, like I always say, remember, make time for art time today. See you next time. Bye-bye.